It will all become clear soon. You were fighting in the last great battle for Britannia, when King Arthur's adversaries marched against the once and future king.
Alongside Sherlock Holmes, King Arthur is one of those timeless characters that everyone has a favourite version of. No one much cares about the original stories anymore, they're more concerned with which new spins they can put on the heroes and their worlds, which is not necessarily a bad thing of course. In fact, titles like King Arthur Knight's Tale manage to create compelling yarns that use our prior knowledge of the characters within against us. For example, ask anyone and they'll tell you Arthur was a hero. His knights were noble and proud and set off on a perilous quest for the Holy Grail. He's a myth based on probably dozens of ancient figures about which we know very little indeed. So when Knight's Tale paints Arthur as a corrupted villain who led Dark Ages Britain to the brink of hell, it immediately feels new. Instead, Mordred, often depicted as the son of Arthur and Morgana Le Fay, is the anti-hero here, brought back to life by the Lady of the Lake and charged to hunt down a resurrected, demonic King Arthur. The land of Avalon is beset by monsters, demons, witches and beasts. The dead refuse to stay dead and the mighty fortress of Camelot has fallen to ruin. Part of Mordred's quest will be rebuilding that ancient citadel and reforging the legendary Round Table. Of course, he'll also need knights to hold court around it, which is the main drive of the campaign. Due out in March this year, the build we've played only contains the first 2 acts of King Arthur Knight's Tale. The dull, generic title just doesn't do the game justice. It tells us nothing about the tactical turn-based RPG that it is, nothing about the fantastical creatures, nor the dark, morally grey warriors fighting to save a dying world. As newly resurrected Mordred, you begin the game as a bit of a shit, to put it bluntly. Mordred is a miserable bastard, a failed usurper and former tyrant. The knights you find and recruit are not much better generally speaking, though they're all in it for the same reason, to save the world from Arthur's evil. They don't really like Mordred either, but this at least lends weight to your moral choices. Sometimes you'll need to make kingly decisions that will influence a 4-point morality meter, and your Knights of the Round Table will respond and react to these choices accordingly. The cast of characters is an interesting and diverse bunch so far, each with their own skills, gear and ability trees to unlock. From dull but noble Sir Kay to the wintry, no-nonsense Lady Dindrain, your steadily growing entourage feels like a medieval Avengers assembling to face down the hordes of evil braying at the door. You select missions from a large map or answer events that often require simple binary choices. Each action moves your morality between hero and tyrant, Christian and old world. This meter affects which characters become recruitable and which abilities Mordred can unlock as he progresses. You'll also rebuild Camelot, installing a market, a cathedral, training ground and an infirmary among other things. While you're free to explore outside of combat, finding chests and shrines and ever important campfires, combat takes place in locked grid-like arenas. Think Melee, XCOM and you're somewhere close. On the standard difficulty, combat feels balanced and fair. If you cock up or leave a character exposed, you'll be punished for it, but combat takes heavy armour into account and your knights can weather some decent punishment. Unarmoured characters cannot, however, and damage will immediately be applied to their health and vitality. If either is reduced to 0, the character will die, and on any difficulty other than the lowest, death is permanent. Vitality will heal between missions, but if a character's health is damaged, you'll need to put them in the infirmary to recuperate. This forces you to juggle unused characters into the rotation sometimes, and you will almost certainly lose characters during a playthrough. Difficulty ramps up steadily and is rarely forgiving of mistakes. Visual upgrades to armour and gear would have been nice, as there's no customization to your entourage's appearance, at least in the preview build. You can apply runes to weapons and armour without actually changing your gear, and upgrades are applied to skills and abilities in between maps. So far, King Arthur Knight's Tale is impressive enough to leave me wanting more. The combat feels impactful and balanced, and the characters are fleshed out, though largely unlikable. Mordred is a miserable shite, and even the positive dialogue choices make him sound like a surly toddler who smokes 20 cigarettes a day. But the other characters react to this, and there's a chance the character will undergo a genuine redemption if you play the moral choices that way. By halfway through the second act I was feeling steeply challenged. I'd lost Sir Kay due to a mistake on my part, and Dindrain was in the infirmary, having barely survived that same fight. The game had me on the back foot, but a few cautious plays later I'd at least got my confidence back. It's that kind of game, and of course you can always drop the difficulty if you really struggle. With the recent delay pushing the release back to March 29th, King Arthur Knight's Tale will likely see a few more tweaks before the final drop. If they adjust some of the dialogue and improve the load times, because right now they are super long, this is definitely one to watch. I just wish the title did a little bit more to catch the eye, because it would be a great shame if gamers overlooked this come launch. Hi there, thanks for checking out this preview of King Arthur Knight's Tale. The game is out on PC on March 29th and it comes from Neocore Games. If you like the video, please hit like and subscribe, maybe tag that bell icon too. And if you want to support us via Patreon, you can go ahead and do that. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us. In the meantime, I've been Mick Fraser for God is a Geek, and you guys have been lovely. Bye.